Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the PS5 Spider-Man 2 video games, Black Cat. Oh man, I love Black Cat from this video game series. She's fantastic, and I love the design of the character, and I love what they did with the character overall. I really enjoyed this game quite a bit if you haven't heard me talk about it enough already. You get a nice image of Black Cat on this side, as well as this side right over here. And then on the back, you can see the other figures from this wave. I think the Black Suit Spidey's the only one I've already reviewed so far, so I will be getting the other ones. Stay tuned for that. On the top, you get a GamerVerse logo, not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. If you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Black Cat out of the packaging, and I really like this figure. Yeah, it's a pretty cool figure, man. As far as gripes go, being honest with you, I don't have a whole ton. I do have some. I tend to always have some, but I really do appreciate this figure more than anything else, so I'm pretty stoked about it. She does not come with a ton of accessories, so let's just get a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Kinda wish we had two heads with it, but I'm not really that bummed out about it this time around. I do like the one head sculpt that it does have. Anyway, you do get two sets of hands, and we have the only reused accessory from this set, which is this Wand of Watum, which, if I remember correctly, has been used more than once with Doctor Strange figures, and I gotta say, this is the best look for it I've seen so far. I love this translucent yellow with the gunmetal gray around it. It looks fantastic, and I'm glad that the figure has this, because I loved chasing Black Cat around. She's all hopping through her portals and everything. That was really fun. The hands look really good. A fairly decent amount of white paint on them, so I feel like at least the claw hands look fairly solid. I thought I saw some paint chipping on one of these hands right over here. Yeah, this one right here has a little bit of paint missing on the knuckle. And this one right over... no, that one's there too. So yeah, fair amount of white paint over the black plastic, and I think these overall came out looking really good. And of course, she has her Peter Parker holding hand right over there, or if you don't want to be a cochino about it like me, it's the Wand of Watum holding hand. So like I said, I really do like this head sculpt quite a bit. It looks just like Black Cat from the game. It's just tricky to get the lighting just right so I could see her eyes, because she has those lenses over there. I'm trying to hold this light over it so you can get a look at the eyes, because they're painted really well. So I think that looks fantastic, even though it's tricky to see. The rest of the face looks really good too. I like the facial expression. She's got a subtle smirk going on. Lipstick looks good. And I really like how the hair came out. And I love that we have articulation over here. It would be nice if they painted a band or something right over there. But yeah, having a bit of gray mixed in here with the white, it's just working for me. So I really do like that. And then we do get the neck hinge. I'm going to get into the articulation. I ask for this all the time. And then this is one of those times where I'm like, ooh, that actually does look pretty ugly, and it's really because they painted the flesh color over the black plastic, and you could really see the hinge sticking out way more than I'd like to. I don't prefer having the dumbbell joint, but damn it, I could see why people would be mad about this. So I'm not particularly that mad about it, but I get how that looks ugly. So I like having the articulation though. Anyway, the rest of the figure, it looks pretty solid. There are some parts that are, I don't know, kind of like micro hazy little filament lines along the side right over there, but you only really see it when you really zoom in. And I think the sculpt looks really cool. I like the intricate detail of the suit design. We get pinless double jointed elbows and knees. The little fur pieces right over here on the forearms look really good. I like those. Looks like we get a little bit of a beige paint over the white. I know I have a lot of light over this, so if I move that, you can see that better. Yeah. Then you can see a little bit of paint missing right over there, over that white piece. But yeah, this looks a little bit weird with these sharp angles digging into her ribs and everything. I don't know. And then you also have some nice detail right here. I'm going to complain about the butt. In the video games, they gave her a really nice butt, an exceptionally nice butt. And this figure does not have that exceptionally nice butt. I don't know, these hard angles on the cheeks just look off to me. And, you know, there's always been sex appeal with this character, so it's not absolutely gone, but the nalgas just aren't hitting it the way it was in the freaking game. A little bit of paint missing right over there, And yeah, we get some details. I mean, the lack of Nalgas doesn't make me hate the figure, you know what I mean? I'm definitely more worried about my wife's Nalgas than the action figure Nalgas, but I still like Nalgas on the figures, you know what I mean? It still makes me happy. Is it weird to be happy for action figure Nalgas? I don't know. So the articulation, I think, is actually pretty damn good on the figure. Again, you get the rotation right here with the ponytail, which does pop off a little bit easier than I want it to, but I still love that they did that. You get rotation right here, and not much pivoting. It'll tilt the slightest bit, right? So it doesn't really count as a pivot, but it's twisting a little on that ball joint. And of course you get that hinge that makes her look all the way up, which is fantastic. Range of movement, but doesn't look that great. I get it. And then we do not get butterfly joints on the figure. Wish we did, but shoulders do move up and above the 90-degree mark. You can move them all the way down, rotate a full 360, bicep swivel, beautiful pinless double jointed elbows that bend in all the way. All the wrists turn side to side and hinge up and down. Unfortunately, the Peter Parker holding hand does not have the horizontal hinge because we know he'd appreciate that. All right, enough with the dirty jokes. You get the twist right over here, and you get some pivoting right there. And just that ab crunch shifts forward. I'm not trying to use the ab crunch. Sorry, I'm just trying to use the diaphragm cut. But the diaphragm alone just shifts forward a little bit and moves back a little bit more so. And then you get this ab crunch right here. So with both joints, she does bend forward that much, which is actually pretty good. And I'm happy to see there's no weird lumpage happening over here. Maybe just the slightest bit, but I've seen it look really bad. And this doesn't look that bad to me. I've seen it look a whole lot worse. And she does bend back a whole bunch more so than she does forward. She has some good hip articulation. She cannot do the splits, but you can move the hips outward that far, and she can kick forward at 90 degrees. I would appreciate even more movement than that, but still not bad. Upper thigh cuts right there, double jointed knees. Really wish we had calf rotation. I wish Hasbro would make it a standard to have calf rotation or some kind of ankle horizontal movement on all of their figures, so you don't have that here. You get ankles that do move down, they do move up, and she has beautiful ankle pivot, which is actually not the most beautiful of ankle pivot because you can't rotate the ankle side to side. Now to measure out this Black Cat figure, you can see that she is standing just a little bit over 6 inches tall. For a Black Cat comparison, you can see we have my favorite comic version of Black Cat from Marvel Legends. This is the Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure Wave version. I thought I still had the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure Wave Black Cat, but I think I sold that one too, along with that Target exclusive. But anyway, damn, this figure still looks incredible. I just wish she had better articulation. She has, you know, stuff showing that we normally wouldn't see, you know, like blue highlights over white. Then here's Black Cat next to some older PlayStation Spider-Man figures. We have the first Peter Parker Spider-Man right here for the GamerVerse PlayStation Spider-Man, and we have Miles Morales. And here's Black Cat next to the two most recent PS5 Spider-Man video game figures I've reviewed. We have the Black Suit Spider-Man, and we have the enormous deluxe Venom figure. One thing that's kind of just tripping me out. Okay, yes, yeah, you can move the legs in closer than you're seeing right over there. So just want to make that very clear. For a second, I was like, wait, could those move it? Yeah, they can. Then here's Black Cat next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, what a MILF. A mother I'd love to freeload. For real. Can I borrow $5? Down! Come on, we all know you're loaded. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, why don't you? And if you haven't subscribed yet, you don't want to miss out on my future reviews. You don't want to miss out. You gotta hit that subscribe button. And a big thanks to everybody that clicked that join button. It really does go a long way. And this is a fun figure. I think it looks really good. And it's really fun to pose. I really don't have that, well, God damn it, when I think back on my complaints, yeah, I did have a whole bunch of complaints about it. You know, I wish we have calf cuts. You know, the neck hinge does look weird. You know, I think that, you know, the diaphragm looks a little strange, the way it's sculpted on there. I wish you had bigger nalgas. So, of course, I have my complaints, but for the most part, I am pleased with it, and I did have a lot of fun posing the figure around, and I really love the Spider-Man PlayStation video games, so having this version of Black Cat was something that I've been wanting for a long time. I think they absolutely nailed the head sculpt. That looks great, and the overall frame of the figure looks pretty good. Again, the Nautilus, I wish they were a little bit, more, but she still has some really nice hips, and it's still a good looking piece to me, and at the price point of around $25, I'm gonna give this Black Cat a Sud rating of I love it! And I want to know what you guys think. Did I talk about Nautilus too much? Did I not talk about him enough? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of the figure. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.